Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video with Coding with Roby. Today we're going to be solving a medium problem called the zigzag conversion. Now the string PayPal is hiring, if you look at that, this says PayPal is hiring, is written in a zigzag pattern on a given number of rows. So as we can see, there's 3 rows here, and it's P-A-Y, pay, P-A-L, PayPal is hiring. So you have to read it vertical from each row. So there's 3 rows, and we're printing it vertical. And then we could read the line. So if we now read horizontal, it's going to say P-A-H, A-P-L-S-I-I-G, Y-I-R, and that is the solution that this problem is wanting. So it's a kind of bizarre question where PayPal is hiring is getting printed over multiple rows vertical, and then we want to be able to read horizontal. So it's kind of out there. So we have a string convert, string S, and an int number of rows. The S is going to be PayPal is hiring. The number of rows is going to be the number of rows that it's printed on. And then we need to return the output of reading it horizontal. So we can see the PayPal is hiring example, and then the output is reading horizontal. It's also going to say, hey, if it's over 4 rows, it's going to look a little bit different, and we need to print the output. So this is an uncommon problem. I would not say that typically you get a question that is talking about printing it zigzag and all that kind of stuff, but here we are, and we are going to solve it today. So the first thing we need to do is go ahead and create a guard clause of if num rows is less than or equal to 1, and then we just want to return s. And I'm going to create our 2 variables. I'm going to say int y is equal to 0 and int direction is equal to 0. Okay, and now I'm a big fan of string buffers and string builders, but here I'm going to use a string buffer. So I'm going to say string buffer array SB equals new string buffer, and I'm going to pass in our number of rows. All right, perfect. Now let's go ahead and create a for loop where our int I is equal to 0, I is less than number of rows, and I++. So we just kind of want to go through our number of rows. And each time we want to create a new string buffer for each array element inside our string buffer, which is going to be SBI equals new string buffer. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and create another for loop where int I is equal to 0, I is less than the s.length I++. So we're going to be going through our string that's getting passed in as a parameter. And then we want to say if y is equal to 0, well then we want direction to equal 1. If y is equal to num rows minus 1, then we want to say direction is equal to minus 1. SBY.append s.char at I. And then finally, y plus equals direction. All right, and now let's go ahead and create another for loop. I want to make some spaces at the end just so I can scroll down a little better. So let's go ahead and say another for loop right here. So for int I equals 1, I is less than num rows, I++. And then we want to say SB of 0.append SB of I. And then finally, we want to return SB of 0.2 string because that currently is our string buffer. All right, let's run the code and see if everything compiles. And boom, we have it working on our first try. And if we say submit code, we can see that it's 58.22%. There probably is room for improvement where we might have to do a whole bunch of dynamic programming, but I think this is very readable. And one of the biggest things that I believe in as a coder is readability is greater than performance, as long as it's not like insane performance hindering. So this is my solution to how to do the zigzag problem. And I'll see you in the next video. Drop comments below if you like this approach or what you want to see different, and I'll see you in the next video.